The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions. Rams once again got rid of their first round draft picks and are going all in. The 49ers are looking to make noise in this stacked division. And the Cardinals, well, the Cardinals are kind of just here hanging out. This is the NFC West, and today we're going to predict each team's record for this upcoming 2026 NFL season. Let's start here and just get this one out of the way. We start with the Cardinals, and oh boy, are they bad. The only thing hotter and worse than hell is Arizona and this Cardinals roster.
Oh, so hell is actually real?
Hell, demons, Satan, all of it real.
Here's what you have to understand about the Arizona Cardinals this year. This is obviously not a team necessarily trying to win in 2026. This is a team blowing it up. They released Kyler Murray after 7 seasons. Cut him. The former #1 overall draft pick, gone. And they ate just about $47 million in dead cap this year to do it. That's not just a football decision. That's a, we're done with this era, we're done with this player, let's start the rebuild decision. And honestly, it was the correct decision. But now, with Kyler out of the building, who will be throwing the ball this season for the Cardinals? The obvious answer would be Jacoby Brissett, who filled in for Kyler when he missed most of last year. But the real answer is, we don't even know. Going into this season, it's supposed to be Brissett, but he's currently in a contract dispute and holding out. So if that doesn't get figured out, then they will have to turn to either Gardner Minshew or rookie quarterback Carson Beck. Maybe we don't need to worry about quarterback, and their game plan is just having a dominant ground game with the #3 overall pick in this year's draft, Jeremiah Love, who they were able to get due to their abysmal 3-14 record of last season. Cardinals also have a new first-time head coach this year, Mike LaFleur, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur's younger brother and former Rams offensive coordinator. New head coach, new quarterback, new everything, really. They added some real pieces, though. Guard Isaac Seumalo from Pittsburgh is a legit upgrade up front. Kendrick Bourne adds a veteran target. Tyler Algier, another running back. And they also have those pieces like Budda Baker, Josh Sweat, and of course, the absolute beast, Trey McBride, as well as Marvin Harrison Jr., who, according to Mike LaFleur, will play the Devontae Adams role for this team that he's bringing over from his time with the Rams, while Michael Wilson plays the Puka Nacua role.
Bruh.
So keep that in mind for any fantasy football purposes. But anyway, it doesn't matter. This team still will not be winning many games this season. This is a foundation-laying season for the Cardinals. Nothing more. And now looking at this schedule, it does zero favors for them, as it is one of the toughest schedules in the NFL this year. I mean, look at this opening stretch. Chargers, Seahawks, Niners, much improved Giants team. The Lions are still a tank. The Rams, the former 1 seed of the AFC last year, the Broncos, much improved Cowboys team, defending champion Seahawks, and again, the Rams in the first 10 games. And quite frankly, I have them losing all 10 games here. Starting off the year 0-10. It's an absolute gauntlet of a first 10 weeks. And then their reward for going through that, playing up against the 3-time Super Bowl champion and 2-time NFL MVP, Patrick Mahomes, and his Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. And yeah, they're going to lose that one too. Finally, though, in Week 12, I have them winning a game against the Washington Commanders. After that, they will get beat. And then we go into our bye week, where they'll get one more win the rest of the season against the Jets before losing the final 3 games, finishing the year 2-15. The tank is on. They're playing for draft position in a 2027 quarterback. If you're betting their win total, I'm taking the under for sure. Up next, the San Francisco 49ers. And this is a fun one. They've got some new pieces in the receiving room with big free agent signing Mike Evans, along with Christian Kirk, to help out Brock Purdy after the George Kittle Achilles tear in the wild card game of last season. Now, Evans is 32 and coming off an injury year, so there is some risk there. But Mike Evans is still a future Hall of Fame wide receiver. And you pair that with George Kittle once healthy and Christian McCaffrey, and the talent is absolutely there for this offense. Defensively, they got Dre Greenlaw back, which matters more for the soul of that defense than really the stat sheet. But I mean, he was huge for them a few years back when they went to the Super Bowl. They also traded for Osa Odigizua to fix their interior pass rush needs and signed corner Nate Hobbs. But speaking as a Packers fan, this addition might make them far worse of a team. But anyway, the best middle linebacker in the league, Fred Warner, is coming back after a broken ankle last season that cost him basically the entire year. Now, with all that being said, are they a better or worse team than last year? I'm going to say a little bit better than last year, but their schedule is also definitely a bit tougher this year as well. So let's take that into account when we look at this and see how it's going to impact their record this season. Everything really hinges on the health of this team, as it always does almost every year with this roster. The schedule is a roller coaster this year. They open week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. And like I said, the Rams this year are just going to be a wagon. They are going to be amazing, and the Rams are going to win this game. But then we have the Niners versus the Dolphins, home opener. They'll beat the Dolphins. We already saw they beat the Cardinals. Following that, I have them losing to a great team in the Denver Broncos before beating the defending champion Seahawks. And following that up, they will beat the Commanders at home. Then going into week 7, they're going to be thinking about heading into that bye and not show up against Atlanta, dropping that one. Coming out of the bye, however, they'll beat the Niners, but it gets a little tough here. They're going to lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Vikings, and lose that rematch against the Seahawks, splitting it. Now, that's a 1-3 record over that 4-game stretch that really could define their whole season coming out of the bye week. But after that, they get desperate. From weeks 13 to 15, they're going to win 3 straight, beating the Giants, Rams, and Chargers before losing to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and then beating the Philadelphia Eagles in San Fran to finish the year 10-7, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Likely a playoff team, but more likely than not a wild card, because we still have 2 great teams to look at to see if they can win this division over them. Now, the champs. Seattle won the Super Bowl, beat the Patriots 29-13. McDonald's defense sacked Drake May 6 times in that game. Kenneth Walker took home the MVP. Best team in football last year. And then the offseason happened.
We got to talk about the Eagles. They signed former Seahawks Super Bowl winning and Pro Bowl quarterback Tariq Woolen.
For you, you went from winning a Super Bowl to becoming a free agent and then finding out your new home is going to be with the Bengals.
Kenneth Walker going to the Kansas City Chiefs. He obviously was going to be moving on. The Chiefs have had a need in the backfield. Questions about whether they'd be getting Jeremiah Love at the number 9 slot. So Kenneth Walker will be going to the Kansas City Chiefs, solidifying their backfield.
Obviously, the thing about winning is you can't pay everybody. Kenneth Walker, your Super Bowl MVP, walked in free agency. Gone. Edge rusher, Boya Mafe, gone. Corner, Reek Woolen, see ya. Safety, Kobe Bryant.
Walton could tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you're going to get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang! Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer.
Not that Kobe Bryant, but still, gone. John Snyder did all that he could in this offseason. He brought back Rashid Shaheed on a 3-year, $51 million deal, kept most of the starting offense together, but they let their MVP rusher leave, and Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL in the playoffs. So we will have to see what he looks like when on the field this year. So you've got Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Cooper Kupp, likely a top 3 to 5 defense, and a giant running back shaped hole in the backfield. Now, are they better or worse than their Super Bowl championship team last year? Worse. I'm sorry, Seattle fans, but this is a textbook Super Bowl hangover roster. The defense will keep you guys in games, but losing your back and your edge production, that's going to show up over 17 games. And the schedule opens up cruel with a Super Bowl rematch against the New England Patriots. And I have the Patriots getting their revenge here. The champs will then beat the Arizona Cardinals and beat the Washington Commanders before things are going to get a little bumpy for the defending champs, as they're going to lose to the Chargers, lose to those Niners, lose to the Broncos, starting the year off 2-4. The hangover headlines are everywhere in the media, but then the Seahawks remember a little bit of who they are. They beat the Chiefs, they go on in home, beat the Bears, beat those Cardinals, of course, beat the Raiders, go into their bye week, come out of it, and beat the Niners to now get up to 7-4. After that game against the 49ers, they have 3 straight games against the NFC East, where unfortunately they're going to slide a little. They're going to go 1-2 in those games, losing to Dallas, beating the Giants, and losing in Philly to be 8-6 with just 3 games remaining. Now we're going to skip over these 2 Rams games right now and go to the Panthers, where they are going to lose. It's going to be a trap game. They're going to be looking to Week 18 in LA against the division rivals, and they're going to lose to the Carolina Panthers. And now here's the crazy part. In Seattle, beat the Rams. In Week 18, beat the Rams. Finish the year off 10-7. So now both Seattle and San Fran will both be 10-7, but Seattle's 5-1 division record will beat the 49ers' 4-2 division record. So the champs grab the tiebreaker for playoff seeding over the 49ers. But do they win the West again? Let's check in with our last team in this division to see and find out. Here we are with the Los Angeles Rams. And folks, they built a monster. This is the team that lost to Seattle in the NFC Championship game last year and simply said, never again. So what do? They went out and traded for the best defensive player in football, the man that just broke the single season record for sacks and the reigning defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett, a 5-time All-Pro edge rusher, the best pass rusher on the planet, now lining up next to a defense that was already good last year. That alone makes them great. But that's not it. They rebuilt the secondary. They traded for Trent McDuffie, one of the best corners in football, then signed his Kansas City running mate, Jalen Watson, and re-signed Cam Curl. Cornerback was the one weakness of this defense last year, and well, it's fixed. Not to mention, the offense is still operated by reigning NFL MVP Matthew Stafford, throwing to one of the best receiver duos in the NFL, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, along with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum running in the backfield, and one of the best minds in all of football, Sean McVay, who has got a complete offense and defense. Your only hope against this team this year might be their special team play.
Spiraling deep kick, Smith who bobbled on 4. He lost it! Seattle recovers!
Alright, so better or worse? Significantly better. This is the most talented roster in the NFC, and it's not particularly close in my mind. And my predictions show it immediately, as I have the Rams starting off the year 10-0, winning all 10 of their first 10 games before their Week 11 bye week. Coming out of the bye week, I have them beating the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs, both in LA, starting this season off 12-0 before finally losing to a division rival in the San Francisco 49ers. Then against the Cowboys, I have them bouncing back to beat them before losing to Seattle and once again winning against Tampa Bay to finish off the year 14-3. NFC West champions, number 1 seed conversation, legitimate Super Bowl contenders this year. They built the best roster in the division, maybe the best in the league. And if you're looking at win totals, this is the team I'd be hammering the over on right now, as Vegas has their projected win total at 11.5. I can't see how a healthy 2026 Rams with Stafford, Myles Garrett, Puka, all those animals get anything less than 12 wins this season. Realistically, just like last season, 3 of these teams could make the playoffs, while 1 is just over there hitting the reset button. But what do you guys think? Are the champs getting disrespected at 10-7? Is 14 wins too rich for the Rams? Drop your record predictions in the comments and tell me which division you guys want next. Like the video if you're going to bet a single dollar on the NFL this season. Subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the league predictions, and I will see you in the next one.